Despite being almost a decade old, GTA 5 still keeps up with the latest game releases, but it's obvious that Rockstar Games has to show some significant improvement to the GTA 6 graphics compared to its predecessors. One of the first things that come to mind when I think of realistic graphics in games is ray tracing. Real-time ray tracing is the biggest leap in computer graphics in years, bringing realistic lighting, shadows, and effects to games, enhancing image quality, gameplay, and immersion. This technology wasn't widely available when GTA 5 was released back in 2013, but it has since become a game changer in the world of video game graphics. Battlefield 5 was probably the first game to support ray tracing when it was released in 2018, but the premiere of this technology was a failure as it resulted in many performance issues. With time, the technology has been improved, and game developers were more eager to add it to their games. In December 2022, Rockstar Games also decided to take this step, adding ray-traced reflections to GTA 5, unfortunately only for PS5 and Xbox Series, leaving out the PC gamers disappointed. It's unfair that PC gamers are treated that way by Rockstar, as in the case of the release of GTA 5 on PC with almost 2-year delay. The addition of ray-traced reflections was a significant improvement, but for many people it's disappointing that, when using it, the game works at 30 frames per second, when I think 60 FPS should be the standard by now. It was also disappointing that Rockstar didn't focus on details like fixing the reflections in the mirrors for first-person mode driving. However, ray tracing is not only about reflections, it's much more than that. So what is ray tracing? How does it work? And why is it such a big deal in gaming? Essentially, ray tracing simulates how light behaves in the real world, allowing for more accurate and lifelike visuals. It works by tracing the path of light rays in a virtual environment as they interact with different surfaces and objects. There are many ways ray tracing can be implemented in games, from reflections to shadows, lighting, global illumination, ambient occlusion, caustics, and even full scene path tracing. And each type has unique performance requirements. In my opinion, ray tracing is a must-have in GTA 6, and I will be genuinely disappointed if we do not get it with this game's premiere. All these neons scattered around the whole Vice City map combined with ray tracing will be something unbelievable. I also hope that Rockstar will put a little more effort into it than they did with the ray-traced reflections added to GTA 5. Another area where we can expect a significant improvement in GTA 6 compared to its predecessor is the textures of the game's environments and objects. Hardware performance has made huge progress over the past decade, so today's mid-end computers and the latest consoles are certainly capable of handling textures with better resolution. That's why I'm convinced that in GTA 6 we can expect even more realistic textures with more details, and hopefully, in 2K or even better, 4K resolution. This will definitely help to create a more immersive and real game world that players can explore and interact with. Just look at how much difference the graphics make after changing the textures in GTA 5 to ones with higher resolution, with parallax mapping. I'm also curious about the method Rockstar will use to create building models in the world of Vice City and its surroundings. One of the ways that developers use to achieve photorealistic buildings is by using photogrammetry, a technique that involves capturing real-world objects and environments using high-resolution photographs. These photos can then be used to create highly detailed textures that accurately replicate the real-world materials and surfaces. This method has even been used by modders. Take a look at this map created for Assetto Corsa. If hobbyists can achieve such great-looking results, imagine what a big studio like Rockstar Games could achieve by using this method to create a Vice City map based on Miami. Another very interesting technique used by developers is procedural generation. I don't think Rockstar would want to use this method for building exteriors, but it could have a very interesting application for creating interiors. Imagine that every time you enter your safe house in GTA 6, the objects in the room are arranged differently. For example, one time you enter Jason's house and it's messy, with clothes scattered around the room, and after a few days, when visiting the same place, it's already tidy. Used cups, TV remotes, and other small items are always in a different place. This is another thing that makes the game way more immersive. The beauty of procedural generation is that it can generate an almost infinite number of unique and interesting interior environments quickly and efficiently. This would add a huge amount of immersion to the game. But how does it work? Procedural generation is a technique used in computer graphics and game development to create content algorithmically rather than manually designing it. It involves creating algorithms that can generate content, such as terrain, environments, and game assets, based on a set of predefined rules and parameters. For example, in a game that uses procedural generation to generate terrain, the algorithm might define parameters such as the type of terrain, like forest, the elevation and roughness of the terrain, and the presence of water or other natural features. The algorithm then generates a unique and varied terrain by applying these rules and parameters in a random and systematic way. Next thing, The weather system. In this area, GTA 6 should aim to be at least as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. RDR2's weather system is incredibly detailed and dynamic, with a wide range of weather effects that can impact both the environment and gameplay. It determines what type of clothing the player should wear. Light clothing in cold climates will reduce the player's health, as will wearing heavy clothing in hot climates. Also, Rockstar even took care of detail such as male horse balls, which will shrink and grow depending on the weather. I think attention to detail in RDR2 is one of the reasons why this game, even after 5 years, can still surprise. But getting back to the topic, in GTA 6, the weather system could introduce a more impact on the gameplay. For example, strong winds could make it harder to drive vehicles and almost impossible to walk, or weather effects, such as lightning strikes, could damage structures and cause fires. By making weather effects more impactful and realistic, the game could create a more immersive experience that feels more alive and dynamic. This would be a significant improvement over the weather system in GTA 5, which had a few types of weather, but did not have as much impact on gameplay or the environment. Another thing that will matter a lot is how detailed the environment will be. While I think GTA 5 is a great game in the term of environment, it may not meet today's standards in terms of realism and interactivity. I'm pretty sure there is still room for improvement to make it more immersive and engaging for players. One of the things we definitely need are destructible objects. I'd love to see way more of them than in previous GTA games. I'm not sure it should be that advanced for buildings to be completely destructible, because imagine starting the story and then destroying the entire city. The story mode would no longer make sense. And then imagine every GTA Online lobby. It would be one big chaos. But what we need is more destructible brick walls, barriers, and especially more destructible vegetation, so that when you drive a tank into a tree at high speed, it falls over. It would be cool if all the concrete environmental elements also reacted to impacts, so we could see the chunks of concrete falling off a concrete wall after being hit. Let me know in the comments what other ideas you have for a destructible map. Another important element of the game is its physics. Here, I would like to focus on the physics of game world elements such as water or sand. Some time ago, there were speculations that GTA 6 would have, among other things, very realistic water. It would be a new system that will allow to have physically simulated water in real time. This would be a big step forward compared to GTA 5, which uses a mesh system to represent water. It gives the impression of a rippling liquid, and the system has the advantage of being energy efficient in terms of performance. However, I think this time, real-time physics would be much better, and it has been proven that it can be implemented in the game and works really well. Similarly, sand physics could be greatly improved in GTA 6. In GTA 5, sand dust is represented as a particle effect that blows around the player's vehicle as they drive through it. While this is a neat effect, it doesn't really capture the way that sand behaves in real life. In this case, real-time physics implementation would also be helpful. Finally, what is a big issue with Rockstar Games is optimization. The optimization of GTA games has been a mixed bag over the years. Some games have been well optimized, while others have struggled to run smoothly, mostly on PC. GTA 4, for example, was notoriously poorly optimized on PC. Many players experienced issues with low frame rates, missing textures, and frequent crashes. Rockstar Games tried to fix the game with performance-improving patches, but to this day, the game is considered one of the worst optimized games from the studio. However, there was a big improvement when GTA 5 was released on PC in 2015. The game ran smoothly on a wide range of hardware, and the graphics settings could be adjusted to ensure that players with lower-end PC could still enjoy the game. It's worth mentioning, though, that the game isn't really optimized for multi-core calculations. It relies heavily on single-threaded performance. This is especially noticeable in GTA Online, which is a more CPU-intensive game compared to the story mode. It would be nice to see GTA 6 well optimized on every platform so that we can enjoy the game in 4K 60 frames per second, both on consoles and mid and high-end PCs. I'm almost certain that there are way more things that could be improved in GTA 6 compared to previous installments of GTA. Let me know in the comments what other ideas you have, as I might make another video like this. I would also like to know what you think about these 5 things that I mentioned today, so I'll be waiting for your feedback in the comments. As usual, thank you for such a great response to my recent videos. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe and bell buttons, because I see that almost 95% of you are not subscribed to my channel yet. Thanks for being here today, and see you in the next one.